German Chancellor Friedrichmerz, Finnish President Alexander Stubb, EU High Commissioner Kaja Kallas, or the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The list of potential candidates to have direct talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin is growing by the day. Whether it is sitting heads of state or former leaders, names from the West keep making headlines after sitting on the sidelines of the Ukraine talks between the US and Russia. Now the question is why the West, which is united in Ukraine's war effort, is failing to narrow down on a name for peace, when all the stakeholders are chasing it in rare unity. Here is what is happening. The reason for this sudden, chaotic scramble is simple: a massive leadership vacuum. With the US completely distracted by the war in Iran and the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, Europe has suddenly realized nobody is driving the diplomatic bus. But instead of showing a unified front, a messy who's who debate has broken out. Standing in Kyiv, a visibly frustrated Volodymyr Zelensky shattered the alliance's polite diplomatic veneer, exposing his deep anger at being forced to play second fiddle to other global crises.
I'm ready for direct negotiations with Putin to end this war, rather than wait in line while everybody finishes all of the conflicts in the world and then our turn comes.
Zelensky's desperate push to bypass the standard diplomatic tracks has exposed deep, embarrassing rifts inside the Western alliance. Just days after Finland's Stubb offered to represent Europe, and the Czech Prime Minister threw a brand new curveball by demanding German Chancellor Friedrich Merz grab the wheel, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte let the ugly truth slip, admitting that behind closed doors there is absolutely zero agreement on Ukraine's primary goal.
That there is this irreversible path of Ukraine into NATO. The practical is that at the moment there's no unanimity on that. So we can still help each other. A lot is happening, and more Ukraine is integrated, let's say, in sense of interoperability and standards with NATO. But when it comes to the full NATO membership, the honest answer there is that at the moment there is no unanimity on that.
While a divided West squabbles over who speaks for them, Vladimir Putin is watching the chaos and actively moving the goalposts. In a late-night press conference in St. Petersburg, the Russian president openly mocked Europe's desperate scramble to appoint a negotiator, turning their own internal division against them and flatly denying their legitimacy to even sit at the table.
What kind of mediator can the EU or certain EU countries be when they directly help the country we have an armed conflict with? They are actually involved in the hostilities. What kind of mediators are they? A mediator implies neutrality. Where is neutrality here?
By failing to decide on a single leader, the West has walked straight into a Kremlin trap. Putin is now using their internal confusion to dictate his own unyielding battlefield terms, completely shutting down Zelensky's plea for a ceasefire and telling a fractured Europe that if they want to talk, they have to play by his rules.
As for the suspension of military action to start negotiations, there is no need for that. There is no need. We had negotiations, and the military action did not stop. Naturally, in these conditions, the Ukrainian side would like us to stop the movement of the Russian troops. But it is better not to stop it, but to stop the war as a whole, agreeing with the compromises discussed in Anchorage.